Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic.
And I am most evil life form.
And this is another reaction to RWBY Season 6. And you know what to do, as always, if you want to see the reaction itself, go down into the descriptions, follow the links, replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear out our thoughts about this episode. So, see you. For those that came back, welcome back. Hi. So, we already started to discuss, and then Mel here clearly stated, hey, relax, relax,
Mr. Panic, we are there.
Yeah, we will have that in discussions. There was so much. Okay, first things first, fanboy here. That was an awesome episode. I liked that. I really liked that. I see the points which will come already here. You know, this side. Okay, this is a positive side, and this is the constructive side. So, not negative, just constructive criticism, right?
Always.
Okay, where did we started off with the evil guys?
Yes.
We discussed before that Adam wasn't there, and I thought about if I should mention that Cinder and Neo were not there either, quite some episodes now. And then we start off with the third party here, which is the people at Salem's place. So Mercury and Emerald. And I really have to say I dig it that they finally shine a light on them. That we get a bit of background about them.
We have not seen a lot of them for a long time.
They were always the sidekicks. We had some background informations mainly about Cinder, and then we followed Cinder, but they had the start where they came from, and then they were just good, but still sidekicks. And now they kind of question their reasoning for being there.
It's for me, this whole episode was theme family.
Yes.
And this was starting with theme family, because for Emerald, you could see all those teams see each other as family, while Emerald, Mercury there is a kind of family feeling, but it's like a destroyed family, especially from Emerald's perspective. And their new family is not feeling right, at least for Emerald for sure. And Mercury is like, whatever.
Although in the past there were one or two moments where he jumped in when Emerald was in danger and he protected her. But now after hearing him, I have to question whether he did it because there was some kind of bond, some group feeling. I wouldn't say family there. It's more like group feeling from his side. Or if it was just because he's like, she's an asset I need in the future, so that's why I jumped
she's
in.
on my team currently.
Yeah,
that's but
exactly.
more I feel like, but this could change quickly. Though he got emotional, which is kind of a sign for me that this is not completely everything. That this is basically what he told himself, what he is maybe even feeling, but it's not all of it. Otherwise, he wouldn't even cared.
I additionally mentioned the fact that when he said I was trained to be assassin. And once I killed my father, that's the next thing that comes on my doorsteps is you, Cinder and Emerald, requesting like exactly these things I was trained for. And my initial reaction there, and I think I said it out loud, was, so you became what your father trained you to be. And he killed his father because he did not like his father and what he possibly became.
Well, he became what his father wanted.
Exactly.
Him to be.
So in a way, and I think he'd never questioned that, but if he would ever question, he would realize I became what I hated, what I didn't want to become.
No. He hated his father, but this was also like he was also, so I trained to become stronger. So he did what he was meant to do, but it was all about more of defeating his father. And when he defeated him, it was not a thing of like, I don't want to become like, I want to defy my father. It was more of like a hate towards, I want to destroy him because he destroyed me. Yeah. And then he's fine with whatever will come. This is more the feeling I have to it.
What was very special, however, and I asked myself if this will just be background and no more important, or if this might be something that ties in with other stories from the past. His father was able to withdraw, to absorb his ability. Yeah. So there was a person who was able to, I don't know, look at you, touch you, very much My Hero Academia Eraserhead here, for those who know it, who's able to draw the special power out of his son. So very likely he could do that for other peoples as well. And I asked myself, if maybe there will be like something from the past where someone else lost powers due to him. I mean, that is a very powerful quirk.
It's a very powerful quirk, and it's perfect for an assassin, because
Yes.
if whoever you want to kill, if they have a semblance, you could basically say, mine, and they are probably defenseless without even knowing that it's not working. They were just wondering, why is it not working?
And people rely on their quirks so much. Their kind of fighting is very much centered around their quirks. So if you have a defensive quirk, you use that in a fight. If you have a speed reflexes like Maria, everyone's quirk. The moment you lose it, if you don't know it, that's right, then you will be at a disadvantage. And if the assassin, Black was his name, right? Something like that? Alistair Black? No, Alistair Black is from the WWE. I'm not sure. So, if he was even able to use this absorbed quirk, that would be incredibly powerful. I think he can just, move it away.
Because we have also seen the copycat. Right? It's already powerful enough to take it away. So
and he never got it back.
For me, it was also then interesting when Taron came into this, when they started fighting. I saw how mad Emerald got, because I think she really... I'm first of all fascinated that she still is so on the defense or defensive for Cinder. Even after everything, we had this moment where she was questioning if that what they are doing is the right thing. So Emerald is still this very interesting character who is on the brink of switching sides. Mercury is kind of a...
He tries to be the cold-hearted assassin.
Well, but he is more the chaos version. For him, it's okay, she promised us everything we ever wanted, but this seemed like a secondary goal. It's still more of like, okay, I'm here to do whatever.
I would have to question, do they get some money for that? Because if you say that is destined, sure, but what do you get out of it directly? Some wealth...
Power, I think for Emerald, it's never to go hungry again, for example.
Yeah, they gave him the legs. He got the legs. She got never be hungry again. But yeah, it's interesting because Emerald steps so much into this family feeling with Cinder. She was rescued from poverty. I wouldn't say she was constantly hungry with her quirk, but from poverty, but we have not seen this relationship so much that she reflects on.
Yeah, and right now, when Tyrion came in, it was about, okay, do it for what you love. And they currently seem to not do it for because they love what they do, but because it's like a necessity or what they were taught that is right. Something like that. Hunger for power or something, but not something they really love. And it was interesting, like as if he could see that if they would follow their hearts, they would not be there. And this would be the moment they would betray them. And then this would be the moment Tyrion could...
And that's why he's like, please do it. That's why he even had the drop. He's like, then I can kill you. And he loves killing, I think. That's one thing. And he loves Salem.
And he loves playing with his food.
Yes, he's like the cat. Right, that's true. Which brings us to him and his tail. One thing first, so it's completely metal now. The part that was chopped off originally was just the end of the tail. So the question is, did the name of the doctor? Watts, thanks. Did he just put metal around the original and then just an additional end?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, I guess as well. But what seemed weird to me, but I might be wrong, is it felt to me like the tail started more upwards than before.
I don't think so.
It was always at the at the end of your body, more in the spine.
It looked like more in the spine before, but on the other hand, I actually don't mind it. I don't think that this was relocated. It was more than, if it's different than before, it's more of a drawing thing, not like in a sense of that, he did something.
What I liked is that it moved with him, so he was like, it was like another head there, Like
it was natural. That's what he did before with his natural tail. So
it looked pretty neat. So I'm really looking forward to that being, and they put it the light that was in it and the poison in purple, and when he fought against Crow seasons ago, his eyes turned purple when he activated the venom effect. So they stick to the color scheme. That's nice. I've seen that.
And the church theme was, it still had the same theme when it was when we were at Cinder's hall and all those.
That's what it looks like.
The same windows, similar windows. I don't think it was the exact same room, but it fits the building theme whenever we see them.
But where do they get all those candles from? They are burning all the time, and every room has like hundreds of candles. It's just
who actually built this building?
Yeah, possibly magic candles. we know that Salem has a lot of magic powers from the first Dawn.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something like that as well, that she can somehow create stuff.
We are at least into something that potentially Emerald and Mercury will leave. They have now a reason to question their motivations and everything.
Yeah.
And I liked it also how Mercury pointed out to Emerald, Cinder doesn't care for you or for us. Yeah. And where he was right. I was on everything Mercury said was right in my opinion.
Sadly, yes. He was, he
was very on point.
What I kind of expect is that they will leave, but at least from Emerald, I guess him as well, they will search for Salem. They know now she's alive.
For Cinder.
Thank you. For Cinder, they know she's alive. Salem told them to leave her alone. So she did not really say, don't follow her, but she said, we will not go after her. She needs time for herself. So it's not like a direct order, but they will go for her because she is the leader of them.
I could imagine also that Emerald will go and Mercury is sent after her. This would be another possibility.
That would be a nice one as well.
And it would be also, again, the conflict between Emerald and Mercury, where we would have some kind of resolution somewhere. So...
Okay, good idea. Yeah, nice one. So there's a possible 4-person team building up, or 3-person again. You know, it's Cinder, Neo, and the 2. Possibly, again, 4 people against 4. One of the teams would be fitting. Why not? So that's the one thing. It was glorious. It was really good. I like it.
It would also fit as a foreshadowing because Watts and Tyrion are going to Atlas.
Yes.
Neo and Cinder are going to Atlas. So
we once again have 3 parties against each other, because I'm not sure if Cinder will be so happy with Watts and Tyrion there.
No, but it would play into when Emerald and Mercury would join Neo and Cinder, and they would end up in Atlas against Tyrion, for example, and meet up. Then Tyrion would have his reasoning he was asking for, like in the sense of, please follow your heart, go to Cinder, I have a reason to kill you then.
Possibly, yeah. So there will be an Atlas, and that they said they are there to make sure that Ironwood doesn't change his mind and requests help from the other kingdoms. So
this was interesting, where I was like, why now?
I mean, that will mean that they want to hit Atlas next, as we know.
I know, but why does it occur to them now that in case Ironwood changes his mind?
We still don't know the timing. That might be very close after the discussion in the first episode or second episode, you know. So we discussed last time, Rooster Teeth stretches it all a bit, so here. Which brings us to this scene, but we before had another one.
The park
Holy heck. Okay.
It was unexpected that they bring it back. It's an interesting time to bring that back. Because
but I remembered that she was from Argus.
Yeah, I didn't remember that, but I'm just surprised in the sense of Jean was hitting rock bottom before, and this interesting
she
time
brings him back
to
very much, yeah.
Yeah, but right now, why not before already too? This is like, okay, it's an interesting point and it's fitting because of the statue is reasonable to be there. And I liked how this was playing out in the sense of who is that other person, and she was sounding like her, and she was tearing up, and she was saying she was saying thank you like she would be Pura. This was like,
I don't think it was an alternate version of her. I would like to think it was like, I don't know, a sister or mother or something like a relative. You know?
I mean, it's probably intentional. It seems like they did never introduce each other. She was just disappearing. So I think it was meant to be, she could be a family member, a friend,
or like just a symbol out of death appearing.
And it could be also be partially her. However,
but why would you bring yourself flowers? You know, that's a bit weird. I see that. He was, however, already before he entered the park, stating that he made a mistake. So he already stated, I acted too fast. I did not control myself there. He as I said in the last episode already, once RWBY shouted at him, you could see in his face, in my opinion, an expression that was like, okay, that was not okay. But he did not apologize. He just instead went up to his room because he was not willing to apologize there. So he is by himself already able to go through this. but having Pyrrha in this stone form there is fitting as well, because she had him in the past, brought him to ways, and they used this very cleverly, I think, towards the viewers by stating, because I think many still question why Pyrrha went up this tower, by stating, as a hunter, or huntress in this case, there is this moment where you have to ask yourself, is there anyone who can do anything? And she said, if anyone has a chance, it's me, and the time is now. And if I don't do it, that is something I will forever regret. So she made a choice. And at the statue, when the other two came along, they used this female to tell him that she really had no choice, that it was the right choice, and she would still and every day again do it. He agreed on that. So he kind of finished with himself there, this emotion he had running so long. And when the other two came along, they all agreed that she did take this chance in the knowledge it could go haywire. And now it's their time to do the same by just going to Atlas. Even knowing you cannot beat Salem, it's just that we have to
because
act.
there is no one else currently who could do it.
Exactly.
And I also like the symbolism that she is, first of all, she was taller, she was made out of stone, like, okay, she is this value, this person who looks over them, who they look up to, and with those values which were so stable and were basically, stone, like for something forever. Lasting forever and even beyond her death, and even inspiring people now on a completely different side on the on the world where this thing did not happen, where people could not see what was happening. So the whole symbolism in this yard, this monument, that she was taller, stone and everything. And this was very well done. I like that a lot, especially that it was also like a very strong bonding moment between Team Juniper.
Yes. The statement, we do love you as we loved her as well. And we don't want to lose you. So they're finally saying, we see you were on a path that was leading to destruction, or at least to problems more and more. He was kind of unstable, as we know, somehow, when it came to that. And I think they ended this journey there at this moment. So I really like that. And they did it as a team. They went back and comforted Oscar. So they brought back the small family of Team Juniper completely. In this case, with Pyrrha. They ended this storyline once more. And they brought back, and this is where we are now, the last scene, the whole team. And that brings me to John. He is the one that first apologized, that stated, we still have to do something. He showed his empathic side. And
just one more thing, what I wanted to say, because for me, this storyline with Pyrrha did not end. It is the thing, like, if people say, okay, they were finished now with Pyrrha. No, Pyrrha is always with them. It's like, Pyrrha's story with them is not ending. It will never end, because she is always there in her way and form of the values and what she represented. So, and this is more for me a very true statement to everything which is related to death, because people are always associating death with
an end.
While it is, why is it an end? You decide if it's an end or not. Person, okay, she is not there anymore, but it continues to live in others and what they created in life. So this is for me not, okay, this is end. This is just, we have her now included again. Probably.
How do you expect me to do any other comments now? Any discussion after such a statement? I mean, that is just, and that's it for today. All the wisdom of the world. Bye. Wow.
We're still.
I agree with your statement on 100%, and I possibly would have liked to say something like that, but I wouldn't have been able to. So I'm in awe. That was a nice one. But let's get back to the series.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to get this out of my system.
Philosophical.
Yeah, very. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I like it. And so there are multiple things in the scene. So Oscar was not really running away. He just went shopping. Maybe he was like, he had to leave at least to get out of this air there. And he went shopping, and he just realized, oh, I should have said something to them first. So when they came back in, he was aware, okay, they searched for me.
This is where my criticism starts.
Yeah,
this was a bit...
Too much?
It was a bit... Really? I mean, I liked the development, but it was quick.
Okay.
to like from one moment to the other, from this kid which is basically standing at the wall frightened and being basically paralyzed to,
because we did not follow him in this journey. That's
Yes,
a problem. We just
but
see
it
the
also,
end
do
result.
you see that he could make this journey alone? I mean, there is probably, maybe he could meet someone like
what
Mariah.
Maria, what journey?
The thing when he went outside, where he had some talks, dialogues, awareness, which comes to his mind, which brings him back to that point. This is not a lot of time.
I don't know him
That's
so
just-
good. That's the thing. We did not follow him on this journey. And there we are again, so many characters. We cannot follow them all. However, neither everyone, except one, right, was grumbled a little bit about the fact that they offset him. As I already mentioned, I think many of them were aware it's not right, but they were in this, I have to torture someone, and he is the one, so. And mainly, especially John, where you could see it in the last episode, they just did not have it in them to, when they realized they made a mistake, they overacted. They know Oscar has his problems as well. They just were not able to step over their own shadow and say, I made a mistake. This moment of saying, you are not at fault, which they said now here, it was our mistake, my mistake, I overreacted. And that's where I said they copied Crow with Jean. The same reaction, kind of. Jean is the bigger man, being able to say, I overreacted. I'm sorry. It's not your fault at all. Not your fault. And thus, I like the fact that Crow, without saying anything, by the way, just walked up the stairs. He did not argue against them. He was just like, I wouldn't say sneaking away, but he just tried to avoid it, and then was even like negative about it. Like, hey, your happy family moment here. The bad uncle goes to bed now.
Well, he is still hurt.
Yes,
right?
sure.
The thing is, the difference here is that Crow's conflict is not with Oscar, while the conflict between John was with Oscar, that he blames them. Crow never had that conflict with Oscar.
It was Oscar.
He has the conflict with Ospen, which is still that he is hurt and that he is not overcoming this hurt, and that the trust really shook him and everything. This is what I'm expected him to act like from the very beginning, and not with this anger and outrage, but to completely pull himself out of the situation. This is very believable in this point for me.
He's not the grumpy old uncle. Very fitting. The grumpy, drunk old uncle. That's what he is right now. He's not willing to even give his nieces any chance. You have to clearly see they're two relatives of his, and he acts like he is doing. I like the fact that you could see in the face of RWBY, and I think a bit in Yang's, when they picked him up on the street, this kind of discussed this, like... Disappointment, yeah, that's it. The deep disappointment in him. And yeah, sure, there was a bit of overreaction when Oscar was back. I'm not sure about this new outfit. It looks weird to me, but okay.
There we come to an interesting point when he was saying he doesn't know how much time he has left. It sounded like he was dying. Yeah. This was like, this is
I think it's about the merch.
Yeah, of course. I think so too. But it sounds like he is like dying. And this was like where I was like, huh? A merge means, okay, you're not the same person anymore, but you're not dead. You're there somewhere.
But he's afraid that he will lose himself in this merge. That it will not be completely him anymore.
And this is where I say, okay, this whole coming to his senses or this state of mind of thinking is too quick compared to this basically just a few hours before.
I don't know if it was about that one. I think this was in his mind already before.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, this is the conclusion. People were against me, and okay, he was scared of the same things. And yes, we have not seen how his day was, why it was. But
we can only guess that he moved away because of the situation, but we don't know. Maybe he was just like, well, that could have been better. But we will move to Atlas, so I get some stuff now.
I mean, maybe we will see that.
Everything.
Maybe it just feels like there's something missing. The whole reasoning when he was like, hey, I started cooking because you were the whole day looking for me, which he was not aware of. It was like...
Yeah, the cooking was strange as well. That's right.
There is a puzzle piece we are not being given yet.
I'm not sure. Either that is happening and then we will get an answer to that somewhere. Or I say they wanted to play on this, oh no, he's missing, oh yes, he's back moment, without thinking too much into it too deep.
That
So
would be sad.
let's have a
somehow.
shadow of a doubt here.
I would love to see the have.
However, what I liked is the one thing which I realized once they moved in. Instantly, Maria had the little kid on her arm, so the typical grandmother just having the
Yeah.
baby. And it's not. She's not relative. They have met her like 1 or 2 days ago, and she's carrying the kid around. That's one thing. And the other, for sure, the moment Ruby's standing up against her uncle. I even said it when he was grumpy and saying, "No, that's bullshit. Let's not take this plan, which is stupid." And everyone was just looking down because the experienced hunter talked, the one that they always listened to. He was
The
teacher,
protector.
the protector and everything. And it was clear that they did not agree, at least many of them. And I even said, come on, that's the moment to stand up. And Ruby is the one that does it. And I really like it because it shows her as a leader. It shows her as a person growing. It changes, again, the relationship with her uncle. We had that in the other episode where he was sick and lying in bed after being stung. That she was caring about him as he cared about her. So this complete change. And she and the icing on the cake is, so we are doing this, and if you want to come along with, you are welcome. It's just like you can join us if you
can
want to.
keep up with us kids. Yeah.
So that was nice. I like that, and it's, in my opinion, the right way. And now he has to decide what he wants, right?
I would say it's just like, it's maybe nearly too smooth.
Sure.
It's good. It's nice. It's good. It's also good for Ruby to be finally back to where she, I think, already was, more or less. That we have her in the state again, and basically the whole group. I would just say it's too smooth for Crow to be destroyed. I would have not think, okay, that this is the same as with Othspin. There is like, okay, the time frame or something in between has to happen to move on. If you were so hurt that you are getting drunk, that you are basically throwing everything away, you don't care, a short prep talk is usually not enough to throw you out of your tent.
No, I don't think so either. He was clearly shocked. You could see it in the change of his mimics and everything. So he was shocked. He didn't expect that. But I think as well. So either he will be the silent one following, so he will not, because he needs time, or which we had that already mentioned by you. Maybe he just flies away. You know, he's the option. So I mean, right now, why not?
It was said by Maria that he did not give her enough credit. I'm not sure if this is completely the right way to put it. It's like, okay, this is again, okay. She gave her, Ruby herself did not give herself enough credit, and now Crow didn't give her enough credit, so that it's fitting. And just don't, for me, it doesn't feel like this is really the right reasoning behind it.
Nah. It's the one, those don't need credits anymore. Those kids know what they are capable of, and that's good. They have each other. They don't need old ones to tell them how good they are.
One thing I surely want to talk about is Jean's plan with the plane and everything.
Yeah, a bit weak. A bit weak.
Well, the thing is not necessarily that it's weak. It's just like, I mean, Crow said it. You want to put up with the whole military of Atlas?
Yeah. By the way, when they left the statue of Pyrrha, there was this Atlas train flying above it, and it was very fitting. It was like foreshadowing, you know, she's with you on the way to Atlas.
For me, it was like, why I was waiting for this. I mean, everywhere in a world, there is some kind of illegal underground trading.
Could be an Argus as well.
Yeah. 100% that they're somehow getting goods smuggled from Atlas and to Argus, or vice versa. There has to be something. I mean, the crystal stuff alone, and even if the military has, this is like with drugs. If the crystals are currently so rare, there will be some way or form how to get stuff illegally. So this is where I was expecting. Okay, this would make sense.
And we have seen Weiss moving out of Atlas by bribing a pilot. So there should be an option. Just go to whatever kind of cantina or so.
Which would still be risky, but not as far as complicated and
stealing
risky
the whole thing,
as stealing a military ship from a military base, getting this thing for 100% seeable over there where they will be probably shot from the sky. So this is a lot.
It would make more sense of going to whatever kind of a bar, checking if there's a pilot or some guards from Atlas, talking to them, bribing them, whatever, there are options. And then they just stop on the flight on a cliff somewhere, they jump in. Something like that.
Yeah. It would be still dangerous and still an adventure, but not
or what you mentioned, like taking a boat, just a fishing boat, and go over the sea by yourself and just try to land in Atlas. I mean, why not? It could be a nice adventure. We could see some of those water grimps, which I really like. So yeah, I see options there. However, all in all, really a good episode. A massive increase. Again, because we discussed it already, the beginning of the season was really strong. First episode, second partially, and then it kind of flowed down a little bit. I mean, we had that in the past as well. So filler, not in the meaning of real filler, but without much action or story-driven direction. It was more...
I just would wonder, okay, so let's say we wouldn't have the last episode and would just not exactly like this, but have this one. Was this last episode really necessary in the sense of this episode would have still worked with a few adjustments and would be still good. So the last episode didn't really add something for me. Yeah. So this is fine. This could have been right there instead of the last episode. This last episode was just not. This was not something necessary.
It was okay because they, as I said, they pinched the screw one more about the problems. And they just brought in the silver eyes.
The silver eyes, yes.
That's it.
But I wouldn't have needed the screw pinching because they're also already in a very interesting and tense situation.
We are all back in the same boat now, except for Crow, but he can fly. So that's it for this time. Boy. As always, if you want to see the next episode's reaction already, go over to my Patreon. If you want, however, first to hear us talk, that is the end of the recording, right? Ignore me, I'm talking nonsense. Something new. They never heard that before. That's it from us this time. Next episode, we will record, I guess, back to back. Yeah? Okay. Then I will see you soon. My name is Relax and Panic.
And I'm Most Evil Life Form.
Until then, goodbye and out.
Bye.